Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Demon Slayer. The last episode of Demon Slayer until it comes back. Yeah, we're catching up today with Demon Slayer, which is always interesting to catch up with a show. But last time around we had Love Hashira Mitsuri Kanroji, where we basically got Mitsuri's backstory, how she was just a freakishly strong, happy, hungry, pink-haired girl. And couldn't find a husband. And now she is putting her talents to good use in order to kill demons. So, that's pretty much it. And I think the crew, Tanjiro, Nezuko, and Genya, have all cornered the main body of the big demon. And that's pretty much where we left off, I think. So, like always, the reaction is down in the description and in the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure. So let's go ahead and jump right into this, the last, for now, episode of Demon Slayer. Here we go. Alrighty. That is the end of Season 3. She just got better. She's just good like that. Now, to the credit of the show, they have specifically, since the very beginning, have pointed out that Nezuko is a very different demon, you know? So, it is not a Deus Ex Machina. I'm sure someone will call it that, but it's not really like they just pulled this out of thin air. It's like, well, no, but it is just kind of funny that it's like, they just turn around and it's like, wait, but you were burning in the sunlight, and she's literally just, I got better. It's like, alright, sure, why not? Alrighty. Nezuko has conquered the sun. But she has not regained her sense of self. Okay, so, clarification. I do want a little clarification. The guy that Miss Tameo had, that was the guy that Muzan turned into a demon in Tokyo, they said specifically that he has regained his sense of self, but he is still a demon, right? Now, because of Nezuko's blood, it's like, it's not fully a cure, but it has given him his sense of self, to where he's him again. He is still a demon. He will still burn in the sunlight, but he needs a very minimal amount of blood. He's like Tameo and Yushiro. I'm pretty sure that's what they were going for. That it's not that, this guy has just been completely cured of demonism, but he's better. He's way better off than he was, basically. Which is good. I was kind of worried that guy was just, like, not going to be brought up until, like, the end of the show, you know? I don't know. Is there a cure for demons? Who knows? Maybe that guy will be like Genya, in that sometimes he's a demon and sometimes he's not. Are they going to explain that? Apparently not. Not this season, anyway. Maybe they'll explain it next season. I don't know. I have seen that. I've seen stuff like on Twitter that the next season, I think they're supposed to reveal information soon, or maybe they will already have by the time this goes up. But I think like the next arc is called like the Hashira training arc. Probably for the best, considering the next upper rank is Akaza, you know? Like, we might have to build a little bit to that, you know? The guy who defeated Rengoku. Like, we might have to build a little bit to that, so. It's also interesting. It's interesting there was no scene of the master, you know? Where he would be like, where he was like, I'm, glad we defeated two more upper rank demons and Nezuko has conquered the sun, you know? I was kind of waiting for that, but that's alright. Almost makes you wonder if Nezuko's blood will cure him, you know? But it's interesting. You know, it does bring up the question, though, still of, you know... I mean, like, because there, it's like, okay, we got Muzan's backstory, you know? Like, we didn't get the backstory of Upper 5. We did get a bit of Upper 4, but we also got backstory on Muzan himself, which is crazy. But, considering this is the point where they're giving us some details of his history, that makes me think, oh, there is so much more that they have not told us yet, you know? Which is good. I like that. But we get just a general... Probably stuff you could have, you know, sussed out from the little information we had. But 1,000 years ago, he was a sickly man, basically. And his doctor gave him medicine that turned him into a demon. However, though he is a demon, it was an experimental thing, but he's not complete. Now he wants to find a way of completing this form, this demonic form. And what he was trying to do for 1,000 years was try to find the blue spider lily. But now he doesn't need that, because all he needs is Nezuko. If he can consume Nezuko, he will become the perfect being. Which, look, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that that's not the plot of Battle Tendency, you know? JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 2 Battle Tendency. Because it is. It's absolutely the Red Stone of Asia and Cars and the Pillarmen, you know? Now, it's different. It is a bit different. In Battle Tendency, Cars was of this species of superhumans, basically. You know, the Pillarmen, they were, or the species that the Pillarmen came from, were stronger than humans. However, they inherently had the weakness to the sun. But then Cars created the stone mask and became the vampire of that species, you know? Like how you can have a human become a vampire and they are much more powerful than a normal human. He became the vampiric form of his own greater species. However, it wasn't until getting the Red Stone of Asia that he was able to become perfect, the ultimate life form, and that's exactly what Muzan wants. However, instead of a tiny little red stone, it's a tiny little teenage girl that he's going to eat. Now, normally, if you start talking about eating teenage girls, there are some red flags. The FBI might be called, but you know, it's Japan in the Taisho era. The FBI, well, isn't there. It's certainly not there. I don't know. You know, that's a good question. Let's all learn something real quick. When was the FBI founded? If I just type FBI, is that going to be weird? It would also help if I typed FBI. Oh, started in 1908. Damn. Well, there we go. We learned something. So, the FBI might have been around at this time, but probably wasn't. I'm going to say the FBI in 1908, in the early 1900s, they didn't know about Muzan Kibutsuji. That is a sentence that I have just said. In fact, I think that's the first time anyone has ever said a sentence like that. So, anyway, but let's move on from the topic of eating teenage girls, which is only getting weirder with every time I say that. You know, it's interesting with this episode, because last season, the final episode, while it was a longer episode, well, I don't think it was this long. This was 50 minutes long. A double episode, basically. I think that one was like maybe 30 minutes long. And the fight was pretty much over before the episode started, you know? So I like having this, you know, finish the fight, you know? Now, we should... I don't know. We're not talking about power scaling again. Every episode I'm like this. I'm like, oh, I don't want to talk about power scaling, and then we talk power scaling. would we classify this as the first true kill that Tanjiro has had of an upper rank demon? Because he did kill Enmu, but Enmu was a lower rank. Was lower 1. It's the question of well, see, I would say that last season it was such a group effort, because Zenitsu and Inosuke had to cut off Daki's head, and then Tanjiro was the one who cut off Gyutaro's head, but he didn't do it, alone, basically. Like, he was being assisted by Uzui, Nezuko, that's... Like, it was very much a team effort, but at the same time, it's like, I guess, it's a team effort here, because of the efforts of Nezuko, Genya, Mitsuri, because of those efforts, Tanjiro was able to do that, So do you classify that? Alright, next question. Does it matter? Probably not. They killed an upper rank demon. I think that's what matters. Again, I don't want to go into power scaling. But that was good. I enjoyed that. I like him using Zenitsu's thunder breathing just a bit, Like, it not even like, it wasn't fully thunder breathing, but it was sort of the principles of it, which was good. And that's very, like, My Hero, where, Deku's kind of learning things from different people. Bakugo, Gran Torino, even All Might, and just, piecing different things together into his new moveset. And I like that, So it is very much like that, I feel like. So that was good. And then the little dude got big. He didn't even get big. He just, like... It's kind of like when a snake sheds its skin. It's just that he enlarged... like the like surface layer of his body, he enlarged that, and then the rest of him was still down within the heart. So he basically made like a Titan form, like an Attack on Titan form, except he's so small that his Titan form is just the size of a normal human, basically. Maybe, I mean, it was obviously bigger, but I don't know. I mean, our crew is pretty small, They're small beans, Like Nezuko, the teenage girl that guy wants to eat. Yeah. But anyway. But that was interesting. I love Genya just throwing trees. That was just something funny about that. I don't know why. But that was good. And then he finally defeated Upper 4, who... I mean, we said this last episode, but these two upper rank demons, I'm glad we did them both at the same time, because they are so not amazing. Like, I don't know, they're okay. They serve the story, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, these two are pretty lame, Like, Gyutaro and Daki were pretty good. Enmu was fine. Rui was really good. And Akaza is also, such a menace. But these two, like, okay, let's just get these two out of the way, So I'm glad we did them both at the same time, and we got through them, They're not the most impressive, but the fights themselves and the character development for our protagonists were still good. And then, Nezuko conquered the sun. She got better. And I like, again, they point out, because this is something that, like, I kind of had a question of at the beginning, I feel like, and then I just kind of dropped it. I was just like, I guess that's just not what we're doing, Because, like, in a couple of those early episodes, I was like, man, she is still, like, she doesn't talk. She's very, like, kind of animal-like. She's kind of like a little puppy, She's like a little puppy that can also turn into, a Rottweiler or a German Shepherd at a moment's notice. Like, she can get fierce, but she's very kind of dog-like almost. And I don't mean that as an insult, but you know what I mean. But I'm glad they finally addressed it here, where it's like, oh yeah, she should have her sense of self, but she doesn't, And that's sort of the last hurdle she would need to get over, is why hasn't her sense of self reappeared? We've had flashbacks where she talks, and so it's like, oh, why doesn't she do that anymore? It's like, it wasn't a thing of like, oh, that's just how she is. It's like, well, I mean, it is how she is, but that is a specific, like, problem now, It is a specific problem that we need to address, So I'm glad for that, because otherwise, it was just kind of goofy. 3 seasons of this girl just being like this, little puppy dog, and just nobody has said anything about it. Or maybe they did and I missed it, Like, because again, like, maybe it was in that scene with Tamio. Maybe I got distracted. I don't know. Because I remember when they were first talking to Miss Tamio, and Nezuko's just, like, on the ground next to him, just, like, messing around. And it's just like, Nezuko, what the fuck are you doing? But, I don't know. They just wanted to kick up the kawaii-ness of her. But again, she's very much like, she's like a dog. It's like she's very cute and cuddly and fun and sweet. But then, she can become, vicious. She can become a hunter dog at a moment's notice. So I like that. It's interesting. But now that she can speak again, now that she's conquered the sun, now it's like, oh, this is weirder now. Because she can't really talk. But she is still her. Like, she's still Nezuko, but I don't know. It's a strange thing, but I'm glad they addressed that. Finally, after 3 seasons, Oh, boy. But yeah, that's 3 seasons done. Now, we'll get a 4th season eventually, probably sometime next year, and we'll come back and we'll react to that. But man, this has been interesting. I started watching Demon Slayer a year ago. I know that, the first episode dropped. I literally dropped it on New Year's Day. Because I had recorded it at the end of November of 2022. But after that is when I caught COVID. And if you go back, I think, to the 2nd episode of season 1, you can tell in that episode that I'm very sick and just trying to power through. And then after that, I took a break, and I just held those episodes, basically, and released them after I had come back, and I was, all fine and good, and I wasn't sick anymore. So, 2023 has basically been the year of Demon Slayer for me. Like, and, like, more than anything, because, like, there are shows that I have started and finished this year, like Broadchurch, I started and finished this year. Mob Psycho, I'm getting close to finishing this year. And I'm going to finish it, like, I'm at least going to record the ending this year. I don't know if the last episode might go up right at the beginning of January. But yeah, but this, more than anything else, I feel like Demon Slayer has kind of defined this year, which maybe that sounds a bit strange, but yeah, but I have really, really enjoyed this again. And I didn't want to bring it up, but after the recent seasons of My Hero Academia, which, if you enjoy those seasons, mainly season 6, that's great. I personally just did not enjoy it that much, and I was really disappointed, and I was like, man, I want more of the My Hero Academia that we had, and I don't want to go into it, but this kind of felt like that. Like, watching this, I was like, okay, I think this is kind of what I missed, Now, we still got time. Maybe it'll become the My Hero Academia I don't really care for, but I hope not. And of course, the manga's done, so maybe manga readers can just tell me. I don't know. Without spoilers, though. But I've really, really enjoyed Demon Slayer, and I've loved the aesthetic, just the setting of the Taisho era. I've loved all the characters. I've loved the plot. I've loved the fights and the animation that have all been brilliant. So, yeah, I've really enjoyed Demon Slayer. It's been really, really good, and I'm excited to see where this series is going in future seasons. And next week, I actually haven't made up my mind yet. I have not decided what I want to do next week. See, I knew, because so many shows are ending right now, but I finished up JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and I knew that I wanted to do Jujutsu Kaisen next. and Mob Psycho is going to be ending soon, and I already have an idea for what I want to take its place. A very, very different kind of anime than we're used to. I'm going to be moving away from shonen battle anime, moving over to something a bit more comical, a bit more Rami. I don't know. I don't even. I'm assuming that's what the genre of that show is. But anyway, that was really vague, so you're not going to be able to guess it. But I actually haven't figured out what I wanted to do after Demon Slayer. Originally, I was going to do Evangelion, and then I was like, no, I don't want to do Evangelion. Like, I don't think I'm ready. I don't think I'm qualified to do Evangelion. Maybe some other time, but I haven't figured out what I'm going to do. But, I mean, this time next week, you'll see what I have decided. But either way, Demon Slayer has been really, really great, and I'm excited to see where we are going in the future. But that is basically it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist with all of my Demon Slayer reactions if you want to go watch all 3 seasons again, as well as another video on screen if you want to click that. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.